So I will definitely be reading whatever one you choose. My fate is in your hands. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten. This is the first TBR game of 2023. I cannot believe how quickly the year has rolled round. So because it's the start of a new year, I'm going to quickly go over what my TBR game is. It's very simple. We have a 6-coloured sided dice. Each colour correlates to a figure, which I have painted the base of, and they sit upon some prompts that I have to fulfill. I roll the dice a minimum of 5 times. If the same colour comes up twice, we do a re-roll. I have capped that to twice, so there's between 5 and 7 books to read for the month. It used to get really out of hand. If the same colour comes up more than twice, it doesn't count as a reroll either, making life easy for myself. As it's the start of a new year though, we are starting fresh, so we have to choose 6 prompts to start off with. So for the first prompt, we are going with, Thrifted. Let's see, another one. Feeling that one. Classic book. The third one, a nice one, under 250 pages. Give them a quick shuffle up. Okay, let's go Animal on the Cover. Pretty sure we had that one for December actually. Last couple. You know what, let's go one right at the front. Continue a Series. And then the final one to kick off 2023, let's go with this one. Reread. I do always enjoy a good reread. Okay, so with all the prompts chosen, let's get to roll number 1. The first roll of 2023 is a yellow. Thrifted. Okay, so the first prompt was Thrifted, and for this one I've decided to go with The Traitor by Seth Dickinson. This is a book that I've been so excited to read. I got this recommendation from Reagan over at Prue's Project. I will have her channel linked below, and I'm just so intrigued by this. So this is a fantasy book, and I don't know too much about it. I do know that the American version of this is called The Traitor Barrow Cormorant, by the way. All I really remember, all that sticks in my mind, is that if Tyrion Lannister had his own book, this is that book. I'm so intrigued by that. So it definitely seems to me like it's going to be a more political heavy fantasy read, but I have heard that the ending is amazing. That alone just makes me want to give this a try. So am I disappointed that the English cover looks like this? Yes. Have I said about it several times? Yes. But I also know that if I really like this, I may just treat myself to the American version. But yeah, I'm very excited. I haven't heard many people talking about it apart from Reagan. I think there's been like maybe a couple others that have briefly mentioned it, but that's it. Kicking off with a fantasy book, which is great because I am feeling in the fantasy mood. But yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. Have you read this one? I don't like the cover. That's all I can think when I see this book is I don't like the cover. So I really hope the contents outshines this cover because it's not doing it for me. Enough complaining about aesthetics, let's get round to choosing a new prompt. Let's go with this one. Oh no. Lowest rated on my TBR. Well, let's hope that one doesn't come up. Roll number 2. Purple. Animal on the Cover. I know the exact book I want to read for Animal on the Cover. I don't own it yet, but I will be getting it, and that's Hellbent by Leah Bardugo. I'm so excited for this book. I'm sure you've heard a lot of stuff about this book by now, but it's going to be so good. It is the second book in the Ninth House series, and I'm so excited. It is a dark academia / horror fantasy book, but I'm so intrigued. We are following Alex. Alex attends this prestigious university where she is basically a part of these series of guilds that are part of the university that run underground. All the different guilds specialise in different things, and Alex is in the guild that is supposed to supervise what they're doing because they are using supernatural beings to do this. Alex is able to see the ghosts and stuff, but at the ending of that book, it ended on such a cliffhanger. It is so good. If you're interested in a dark academia horror fantasy, but it's also set in our time, a contemporary one, give this a try. It was really good. I was hesitant because I wasn't a massive fan of her YA series, but this is her first adult fantasy and it's so good. I'm really enjoying it. I've been constantly thinking about it. So yeah, I definitely want to be reading that. It's due out on the 10th of January, so that is perfect for Animal on the Cover. Time to choose another prompt. Read the first in a series. I do have a few series that I've been meaning to start, so that's not a bad one. Roll number 3. Oh man. Yellow again. So we have lowest rated on my TBR. Choosing another prompt. Let's go with this one. Representation. And the first reroll. Ooh, pink. And that's a classic. Okay, so we did have a reroll. The first prompt for number 3 was lowest rated on my TBR. And for that, I need Goodreads. On Goodreads, I have a shelf of all my physical TBR books. And then I will go onto that, rank it in star rating and choose the lowest book on that list. Is this a bit nerve-wracking? Yes. Has this backfired on me a couple of times? Yes. Also, I can't remember the last time I updated that shelf. So this is actually limited run of what's on that shelf, although it still says there's 92 books. So okay, so we've got physical TBR, average rating, lowest. Ooh, oh, okay, that's not too bad. Bit chunky though. I don't know if you're going to see it very well, but it is Argo by Mark Knowles. Let me go get it. Okay, so lowest rated, as I said, was Argo by Mark Knowles. This is actually a Greek myth retelling, one that I haven't heard many people talking about at all. And this one, I believe, is Jason and the Golden Fleece inspired. It was on a previous TBR and I just never got around to picking it up. I think, honestly, it's just the size of it that's a bit daunting because it is 618 pages. I also know it is the start of a series. The second book has recently come out. I am interested. I do love my Greek myth retellings, so I definitely am going to read it in January. Like, that is the plan. We'll see. Maybe I will like this more. I think this is the book that came up last time for lowest rated as well. I feel like that was the last time this was on the TBR. But we're definitely going to read it this time. I swear. Maybe. And then the other prompt was classic, and I literally went for the first one that I saw on my shelves, which was Animal Farm by George Orwell, and I'm pleased I did because it's itty bitty tiny, which we love, an easy quick book. So this is definitely one that I can just get read in a day, which is perfect. It's less than 100 pages. I know it's more of a dystopian type. I don't actually know too much about this one. The reason why I picked it up is because so many people say it's such a good book, and it is Ariel's favourite classic book. So I will have her channel linked below as well, and I don't know, it's small enough that there's no reason why I haven't read this one, so we're just going to give it a try. I really don't know anything about this one, and to be honest, I don't think I need to know because it's such a short book. It's a classic. A lot of people have read this book, so we're going to give it a try. Hopefully I like it. We're gonna see. Another prompt. Ooh, okay. That is treat your shelf. Basically, go buy a book and read it. Sounds perfect. Roll number 4. Ooh, green. Continue a series. For continue a series, I've given myself a break. I've gone very easy on myself, and that is Across the Green Grass Fields by Shauna Maguire. This is a tiny little novella. It is a series of novellas in the Wayward Children series. I really enjoy this series. So this one is the sixth book in the series, which I just love it. And because it's a 6th book, I do believe this means it is a prequel. So the first book started off with Every Heart a Doorway, and then the second book is a prequel to Every Heart a Doorway. The third book continues on, and it goes like that. So even numbers are prequels if it stays the way it has been, and odd numbers are continuations after. I really enjoy this. It is basically what happens once Alice got back from Alice in Wonderland, the children that got back from Narnia. What happens then? And that's what I really like. This book does question a lot of different things. Each book focuses on a different topic, and I just really enjoy them. They're just fun, easy to read, and I haven't read one of these books in months, and I feel like that's such an oversight because I really enjoy this series. I don't want to know who we're following in this book. I don't want to know anything about it. It's such a short one. It's always less than 200 pages, so it's just going to be a nice, quick, easy read. Honestly, I'm excited just to get back into this world and the feeling that these books give me, because each one of these books is someone finding their home, or if we're on an odd book, it's continuing on from an adventure murder mystery type thing, which I really enjoy. So because it's an even one, I do believe we're finding someone that's found their home, and they do have difficult things to deal with. It has stumbling blocks along the way, but I don't know, I really enjoy this series. I think it's so good. Okay, the 5th time to choose the prompt. No, choosing a prompt, and then we're going to go into the 5th and hopefully final roll. That's what was meant to have been said. Okay, let's go. These are getting all over the place. Let's just go with this one. Another fun one, anticipated read. Is it going to be the last roll though? The 5th roll. That is not the last roll. We have purple. Read the first in a series. Choosing another prompt. Thriller. Now it's the last roll. Pink. Treat your shelf. Okay, read a first in a series. For this prompt, you will have to choose for me. We have two different fantasy books, two very different ones. This one is The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson. This is a YA fantasy book, and this one on the back says, once a century, one person is chosen for greatness. Eliza has always felt powerless, useless. Now on her 16th birthday, she has become the secret wife of a handsome and worldly king, a king who needs her to be the chosen one, not a failure of a princess. If she finds the power deep within herself, if she doesn't die young, most of the chosen do. It sounds like it's gonna be a typical YA fantasy, and I don't mind that. I feel like that will be a nice breakup to these books. Not that I have loads on here, but I just feel like it's a nice lighter one, and I haven't read a YA fantasy in ages actually, and I have been feeling it. So we have YA fantasy The Girl of Fire and Thorns, or the urban fantasy Jade City by Fronda Lee. This one has been highly recommended. So many people love this series. I don't know too much about it. I actually picked it up because I really enjoyed the Netflix program Arcane. I loved Arcane so much, and this book, just something about it reminded me of Arcane. In this one, we are following kind of like a mafia mob boss family, and they are in control of Jade. Jade is able to give people these powers, but at an extreme cost. It is highly sought after and is viciously protected, and I do believe these are kind of like more political mafia urban fantasy. I've heard nothing but good reviews, but I don't often read urban fantasy. So you have a choice. Do we go YA fantasy for some cozy light reading, or do we go urban fantasy and push me out of my comfort zone? Please let me know in the comments below of what you would prefer to see me reading. Please note that whenever you choose the book for the month, that is always a top priority for me to read for the month. So I will definitely be reading whatever one you choose. My fate is in your hands. And then the final prompt was a really nice one actually. It's Treat Your Shelf, which I am just going to wait until closer to the time, and then we're going to go book shopping, and I think I'm going to put it as part of a vlog. We're just going to go book shopping and see what book takes my fancy on that day, and then we'll start reading it. So I'm just going to have that in there. If you have any suggestions of the sort of books that I should be looking out for when I do that, then again, put those in the comments below. But let's do a quick recap of what we're choosing for this month. So we have Treat Your Shelf, which is a blank. We don't know. Continue a series, which is Across the Green Grass Fields by Seanan Maguire, a nice light portal fantasy series. A classic, which we're going with Animal Farm, again a nice light one. Look at this, look how small that is, look how quaint. We then have the lowest rated book on my TBR, and that is actually a Greek myth retelling, which really intrigues me because I do love my Greek myth retellings, as we know, but that's Argo by Mark Knowles, which definitely puts the page count up a little bit. We have Animal on the cover, which is going to be Hellbent, so just imagine another book is there. I'm probably going to be reading it on Kindle, well, on my phone actually, because I don't want it in hardcover, so we're going to wait. But we're just going to have an imaginary book put here. We also have Thrifted, which we're going with The Traitor Seth Dickinson, another adult fantasy. And then on top of that, we have the book that you're choosing for the month, which is either going to be an adult urban fantasy or a YA fantasy. So let me know. You know what, looking at it like this, it's so doable, but we are missing 2 books from this pile. So actually, I suppose if we did that, it's a bit more of a better representation. But yeah, I'm happy with this pile. Very fantasy heavy. I wasn't expecting that, but I am in the fantasy mood. That does work very well. Let me know if you've read any of those, and of course, please do vote to let me know which book you would prefer I read for the month. And as always, I hope you are doing extremely well. Let me know what you're going to be reading in the month of January. If you're excited for anything in particular, all the usual things, do let me know. But for now, if you have enjoyed this video, please do give it that thumbs up, subscribe, and comment. Those 3 things really help this channel out, so thank you so much. And my social media links will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next video.